worked pretty hard on these projects, so we're excited to share them. So I'll be doing mine on the importance of travel. So first, I'm just going to talk about why I chose this topic. So for a large portion of my life growing up, my dad was in the Navy, which means that we moved around a lot, which I actually enjoyed. By the time I was 8, I had lived in Washington, Nebraska, Virginia, and then now Michigan. This right off the bat just fueled my love for seeing new places, meeting new people, and just traveling in general. It also hugely shaped and impacted my view of the world and those around me. It allowed me to be exposed to many different communities and people with beliefs and norms different from my own, giving me a better understanding of others and just an overall strong sense of empathy. And at this point, just being in an airport or going to a new place just feels like kind of something that's familiar to me and just gives me a sense of comfort. And has just become something that I'm very passionate about and would like to share with others. So first, I'm just going to be going over the mental health benefits of travel. First, it helps reduce stress. So taking a break from everyday routines can help you relax and recharge. Relaxing helps decrease the levels of cortisol in your body, which is the body's stress hormone, and just helps you feel calmer. A 2013 study said that 80% of respondents said that travel improves their general mood, and then 75% said that travel just helps them reduce stress overall. Secondly, it increases productivity. So a study conducted by Harvard observed that 94% of respondents had more energy coming back from their trip than before they left. It also lowers risk of depression. So depression was already a huge issue, but especially after the pandemic, depression rates actually tripled. And mental health experts say that there's a link between travel and happiness. A 2020 study showed that people who see more changes day to day, like traveling, just tend to be happier overall. It also reduces job burnout. So a recent study found that over half of the respondents said that they felt burned out at their workplace. Excessive working has only increased after the pandemic because people had to work at home, so their work was moved into their home, home life and work life were kind of blurred. It also improves your sleep health. 1 in 3 Americans do not get enough sleep. Poor sleep is linked to chronic conditions like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and depression. Getting away from the routines at home help reset a person's sleep pattern by disrupting any negative habits that might be affecting their sleep. It also helps improve brain function and boost creativity. Immersing yourself in a new culture or environment increases the mind's ability to think more deeply and move between new ideas. It also strengthens relationships with family or those that you are traveling with. So it can be hard to find quality time to spend with family or friends because life does get busy. However, when you're traveling, you have dedicated time with those people to strengthen the relationship and just build in that. It also creates everlasting memories. So experiences, unlike physical things, can last a lifetime. They bring in a better quality of life and give you something to remember and look back on. It also improves cultural understanding. Visiting new places, trying new foods, and experiencing customs and traditions that are different from your own help you become more open-minded and culturally sensitive and just give you a deeper sense of appreciation for diversity. Meeting new people. So friendships with people who don't live in the same place as you are really cool because it offers a different perspective on things, and it's just cool seeing all the different experiences that you go through throughout your life. And it's just cool to have a place so that you can go back and visit if you know them. Getting out of your comfort zone and personal growth and development. Getting out of your comfort zone means that you're learning new things, meeting new people, seeing new places, and trying new things. This stimulates personal growth and can lead to a deeper understanding of yourself and what you are capable of. And it helps you build confidence because you're putting yourself out there and challenging yourself rather than just staying in your own comfortable space. Next, I'll be talking about the spiritual benefits of traveling. So number 1, it challenges your own faith and teaches you how to reach others with a different religion than Christianity. We as Christians cannot spread the gospel in a beneficial way if we do not understand others first, we cannot expect that everyone is going to become a Christian and accept the gospel without any like restrictions or questions, which is not like a bad thing. We just have to like understand where they're coming from and be confident in our own faith too. Also learning new ways of worship. The only way to worship is not just singing in church or listening to your pastor preach. Although like there's nothing wrong with those things, you should be looking for like new ways to bring glory to God in your everyday life too. And then learning about other religions. Learning about other religions can remind us just how great our God is and just how blessed we are. And it's just like an interesting thing to learn about too. And then lastly, it exposes us to more of God's majesty. By traveling and going to new places, we see more and more of God's splendor and just the works of his hands, because he has created the entire earth. And again, it just reminds us of how powerful he is and how blessed we are. So there also are some career benefits to traveling. The first one is language skills. There are some jobs that require knowing more than one language, and by going to a different place or country when you are learning that language is super helpful, because you're exposed to people who are actually like actively speaking that in real life as opposed to just like learning it by yourself. And then international experience. Being familiar with different countries and having connections in places is a good asset to have, especially in the world of business and marketing. Already having those connections for traveling puts you a step ahead of others, and that's something that employers will notice. Next, learning adaptability to new surroundings. Going to new places and experiencing new things makes you more adaptive to your surroundings, which can be especially important in the workplace because it can allow you to do your job more smoothly. Then I actually have a Mark Twain quote. So, travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all one's lifetime. Traveling is a vital part of not becoming ignorant or complacent. To be truly aware of things that are going on in the world, we have to see some of them for ourselves. Life doesn't just exist strictly in our own little corner. There is a life outside of it that we have to understand and see as well. So next, I just have some different ways to travel besides just like planning a vacation for like spring break or something. The first one is YWAM. So YWAM is basically a group of young people going to a certain place, and then they act as missionaries. And they just spend time worshiping God, serving others, and then reaching out to the people that are in that place. Next is studying abroad. So this is when you go spend a year or a semester studying in a different country. This is a great opportunity for high school or college students because you are already paying for an education, but now you get to do it and experience it in a new culture or somewhere else. And then lastly, adult travel programs. This is where you go with a group. It can be of like all age ranges, just anyone over 18. And you stay with that group while you're traveling. You can go to like Europe or wherever, but if you're not comfortable like traveling alone, this is a good option because you can do it with other people. So next, I have some interviews. This is Mr. Meads. He's a teacher here at NMC. And I asked him, how has traveling impacted you and shaped you into the person that you are today?
Having been born in Brazil as a child of missionaries, we did a lot of traveling back and forth to the States. And so just a chance to travel was something that really aided in my maturing process. The other aspect to travel that I think is important, and as an educator and as an administrator for the last 25 years, I've always wished that one of the requirements for graduation could be to make every senior go to a third world country, because I think they come back and really appreciate this country for what it is and for all the opportunities we have here. And unfortunately, a lot of times, kids, particularly in this area, don't travel even out of state, much less out of the country. And so I think traveling to other locations really aids in appreciating all that we have here and all that we should be very thankful for. So I think travel really opens a young person's eyes to
next person I interviewed is Emma, my sister, and she actually just got back from studying abroad in Vienna, Austria. The question that I asked her was, how has traveling impacted and challenged your faith?
Studying and traveling abroad has helped me to grow my faith in multiple different ways. The first way that I've been able to notice how my faith has grown is through how I've been able to learn to worship in new places than I was before. Before studying abroad, I typically only thought of worshiping when I was in church, as in the physical building. And now I have grown to be able to learn how to worship when I am either walking around with people or in different places than other than just the physical church. And the second way that I can tell my faith has grown is through how I've been able to understand people of different faith backgrounds and different cultures. And that I think is a really important thing, especially growing up in McCain for most of my life, because there isn't a lot of religious variety. And I think it's really important to understand lots of different backgrounds of different people who have grown up in different faiths as you, and then how being abroad has challenged my faith. I think the biggest way that it challenged my faith was through how I didn't have my typical support system within the church and had to seek that out and build it for the first time, which was really challenging at first, but also very rewarding in the end, and was overall a very good experience and helped me to grow in my personal faith and how I challenge myself.
So, for those of you that don't know, NMC has a really great exchange student program, which is basically, again, where a student from a different country comes and studies to a different country, typically for about a year. So, because of this, I was able to meet one of my best friends, Sol. She came to our school about 2 years ago from Spain and spent a year at NMC. And I was just able to really get to know her and learn a little bit more about her culture, which was really cool. So I asked her 2 questions. The first one I asked was, how has studying abroad impacted you? And her response was, studying abroad has impacted me in many ways. It has helped me look at life in many different perspectives. It has helped me increase my independence as I had to go through different stages in the exchange year by myself. And even though I had a great host family that was always willing to help me, I needed to learn how to manage myself academically and emotionally on my own. It also helped me learn how to immerse myself in a different culture and adjust my life to others. Second question I asked her was, what did you think of America before you came? And then how did your thoughts change once you actually got to America? So her response was, I think that I've always had the U.S. as a perfect destination, and I've always romanticized my view of the U.S. because of movies, influencers, etc. And not only that, but I've known I wanted to be an exchange student from a very small age. However, when I found out that I was going to a small town in the middle of nowhere, my perspective changed radically, as I thought that it was not going to be a great year for many reasons. But when I got to McBain, I realized that that was not true, and that even in a small town of McBain, I was able to find great people, a great host family, and some of my current best friends. So next I'm going to just briefly talk about Jesus and traveling. So throughout his ministry, Jesus traveled to various places over modern-day Israel, Palestine, Egypt, and Lebanon. He went to cities like Jerusalem, Capernaum, Nazareth, Bethany, and many others. Basically, we are meant to follow Jesus' example, and although that doesn't mean that we had to travel to crazy, faraway places that he did, we should still be going out and sharing the good news with others. So, our calling, Mark 16, verse 15, he said to them, go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation. As you leave, I just want to challenge you to go out into the world, even if it's not a different country or if it's not super far away, and just look for ways to spread the gospel and be a light to Christ. Thank you. Woo! Are there any questions? Aubrey.
Do you have any fun trips planned soon? Like maybe some fun people?
Yeah, maybe. We're
or
actually
anything like that?
going to Spain to visit Sol at the